I'm Joel.
And I'm Andreen.
And you are listening to the 100th episode of Rewatch, a 90s movie podcast. Folks, we have finally made it.
We're here.
We are here. We've been teasing the 100th episode for about 2 months.
Yeah. It's been a while. It's been a long journey.
We have been soliciting your feedback, your voicemails, your messages. And, I just want to say before we get started today that I'm just happy that this has been a show that people have been enjoying as much as we have enjoyed recording it. My sister and I will banter like this whether we're recording or not and entertain ourselves. So it's nice to be able to kind of share that enjoyment, and I'm glad that you all are also being entertained by what we do here. And we have been entertained by you all as well.
Oh, yeah.
So it's been fun for both of us. And, before we get into the 100th episode, I think it's only appropriate that we propose a toast.
Yes.
AKA a reason for me to drink on this episode. I'm going to propose the toast.
And I'm going to actually do the
toast.
toast?
You're going to actually do the toast.
I'm on the spot. So just so y'all know, we did pour drinks ahead of time, but he did not tell me about a toast. So I'm on the spot here.
No, this is fine, though. This is my version of the once at this summary. Since we don't have that for this episode,
got it.
It's like,
All right, so raise your glass, Joel.
All right, my glass is raised.
So my first person, I guess, to thank is our lovely listeners.
Yes.
Just wanted to say, without you, none of this would be possible.
Shout out to all of the listeners.
Yeah, we're at number 100 so far. I'm not sure how we even got this far. It's been 2 years in this journey. And we're so thankful you guys enjoy this, that you're listening every week, that you're commenting. And I want to also shout out my brother, because without Joel, there'd be no podcast. It'd be just me. So raise your glasses. Matter of fact, if y'all want to pause, get a little shot, get a little glass or something.
Yeah, you all should be drinking too.
Yeah.
Unless you're driving.
Yeah. Or working.
Or if you work from home, then you can drink. If you're in the office, maybe don't drink. But yes, cheers and shout out to all of you, and shout out to my sister as well.
Clink.
There we go.
Ooh.
Delicious.
Woo. Okay.
All right, so let's get started here. And I know you all are probably wondering, what the hell are these two idiots going to do for an episode where they did not watch a movie? And we have been, like I said, asking you all to leave us messages and voicemails. And so what we've decided to do is, thankfully, we got enough voicemails to actually just make the episode us responding to you guys' questions. Yeah. So shout out to all of you that actually called in, left messages. Also, those of you that sent us emails and texts and things like that, because we will basically be spending this episode responding to all of you.
All right. So ready for the first question?
All right. Let's listen to voicemail number 1.
Hey, it's Megan. I was wondering, what is your favorite impersonation that you do, Joel? And Andreen, what's your favorite impersonation that Joel does? Because I feel like it really adds a lot to the podcast, especially for certain movies. So let me know. And I was wondering if you could tell us what your favorite movie you've watched so far is and what your least favorite movie is.
Okay.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, I feel like you should answer this, because it's not like I'm going to be like, well, my favorite impersonation that I do.
Right. Okay, so to answer the first question about the impersonations, I think the two that Joel does extremely well would be, first off, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And we got a fair amount of opportunities to do Arnold, because we've watched, what did we watch? We watched Kindergarten Cop, we watched True Lies.
Junior.
And Junior. Is it just those three, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So shout out to Arnold.
There must be a mother.
To the carpet, to the carpet.
Nah.
Who's your daddy?
And what does he do?
And what does he do?
And then secondly, I gotta say, your Trump impersonation. It cracks me up every single time.
That's crazy. I don't even remember really doing that on the pod.
Nah, you do Trump a couple times.
I have done it.
You gotta
All
do
right.
it now, though.
Oh, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. It's a great podcast. Great podcast. I love what they do. Rewind, rewatch. They rewind sometimes. They rewatch it. They give their ratings. Very good ratings sometimes. Best show. Great show.
And there you have it, folks. All right. And then the second part was, what was our favorite watch so far and our least favorite watch? Do you want to go first?
I really like this question, and I feel like this is a good way to start off this episode. Because, yeah, we have watched 99 movies to this point, not even counting the additional ones that we've watched for the Patreon. So I could not come up with one answer, so I came up with 3 answers for each. So first I'll start with my favorites. And I will also say that Andreen, this is not going to be a surprise to any of you, but she's kind of the organizer of this outfit. I just come on here and make silly voices. But she has done us a service of actually going back and like recording all of our rewind ratings. So I did cheat a little bit by going back and saying like, what are the movies that I rated really highly and what are the movies that I didn't rate as highly? And then I kind of narrowed it down from there. So I will say my favorite movies that we watched so far, number one, Shawshank Redemption, which is like arguably like one of the best movies from the 90s, period. The Best Man is a personal favorite because I just love how messy it is.
Yeah.
And it's a movie that I just never get tired of watching. That is also probably an episode that I really enjoyed. And then third is Office Space, which is just another classic 90s film.
Yeah.
I won't even belabor this. These are 3 movies that I probably will not watch again. And really only got through them because I knew we were recording an episode. So number one has to be Jawbreaker.
Yeah.
That was probably my least favorite episode. Like that was not my least favorite episode, but my least favorite movie that we watched. Welcome to the Dollhouse is another one that I did not enjoy at all. And last but not least, Independence Day. It was like way too long, way too nonsensical. And I felt myself like looking at the time, like how much more time do I have until this film is done? So those are my 3 answers.
Yeah. So my answers, I'll just start with the least because they're very close to yours. My least favorite was also Jawbreaker.
Oh, man.
Independence Day.
Oh, wow. 2 for 2.
But my last one was Billy Madison.
You really didn't like Billy Madison.
I hated that movie.
You really didn't like Billy
Like all those
Madison.
stupid baby voices he kept making, wanting to touch the hiney. Like I just...
I feel like Billy Madison is funnier listening to you talk about it than I actually thought it was funny by watching it myself. But the how offended you get by Billy Madison is actually hilarious to me.
Well, I'm glad I can make you laugh.
It's funny because my wife was talking about Adam Sandler the other day about like how much she enjoys watching him in drama movies. And like he actually does have pretty good acting chops. And by watching his comedies from the 90s, you could never tell.
No.
Like when you watch the movie like Billy Madison, you're like, oh, this guy's just an immature like man-child.
He's an idiot, yeah.
But then you see like some of the other stuff that he's done that have been a little bit more serious. And I'm like, like Adam Sandler's like kind of legit. It's just, it's very interesting to see the shift. And maybe he was always that, but man, Billy Madison was like...
Bottom of the barrel.
All right, what were your favorite movies to
Favorites
rewatch?
were My Cousin Vinny. The movie was hilarious. Misery was fantastic.
Right up your alley.
And First Wives Club. Those are my 3 favorite.
That was a good one. I
love that movie.
I liked First Wives Club rewatching it more than I remembered Like, I remembered it being a pretty good movie, but then when we watched it for the pod, I was like, oh, like, this movie's like...
It's fantastic.
This movie's, like, really good.
And that song, don't get me started. Don't get me started.
I will not. I will not get you started. All right. Let's listen to the next question.
Hi, this is Kashaka from Georgia, a part of the No Sleep crew. I want to ask, which 90s movie instantly transports you back to a specific moment in your life when you rewatched? The Goofy movie was for me. I love that movie, and I loved how you all reviewed it. So I just want to know, what are you all thoughts? Have a great one.
So I want to interject here because shout out to Kashaka. She mentioned No Sleep Gang. I am a part of the No Sleep Gang.
Is this like a street gang?
No. Our colors are no.
Is this like the Michael Jackson Beat It video?
These are my girls that I love from all over the country. We travel together in and out of the country. I love them to death, and we call ourselves No Sleep because on our trips we don't sleep. You know. So shout out to Shaka, and I guess I'll start with my answer. When I think about watching a movie for the pod that I thought about being a kid again, my answer would have to be Jumanji. Because I remember watching it as a kid, and it was just so adventurous. It was so different. Being able to think about being transported into a game was wild. And because I'm a little bit of a, I guess, hot mess, I definitely wanted the game when I was a kid. I was like, oh, Jumanji would be fire.
Okay, well, hold on. We kind of
wanted it.
We have to unpack this.
I kind of wanted it.
Like, you wanted like a board game that was based on the movie, or like the actual game from the movie? Because that's two very different things.
Like, yes, I wanted the game, like the actual game in real life, but also it was like the idea of having something and like the drums playing, tin, 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 tin. Like, I feel like it would be a cool thing to have.
The drums were an interpretation of your heartbeat as you're about to die.
I probably wouldn't play it, but like just to have it and be like, yo, I got Jumanji. You know, it's like something to brag about with your friends. Like, I got Jumanji back at home.
You wouldn't be bragging about it with your friends after you're trapped in the jungle for 30 years. Your friends would all forget about you. Like, whatever happened to that girl that had that? I don't even remember. What was her name again?
Anyway, what is your answer, Joel?
So I was thinking of it in terms of like a movie that takes me back to a specific moment in time. I was thinking about Fern Gully. And specifically, I remember us growing up and having a lot of movies on VHS tape. And not necessarily movies that we bought, but just like all of those like recordable VHSs that you could record movies off of the TV.
Yeah.
And I just remember us having like loads and loads of tapes of movies, of TV shows, of Knicks games, of just like stuff that we recorded, wrestling, like all stuff that we would record on the TV, off of the TV. We had the Saved by the Bell movie. And I say all that to say, like, I remember Fern Gully being like, I can picture in my head like one of those VHS tapes with Fern Gully written on the little sticker that you would put on the top. And I just remember like this was one of the movies that as a child we would like watch and rewind over and over again.
Rewind and rewatch?
Yes. Thank you for that. So shout out to Kashaka and the No Sleep Gang for that wonderful question. All right, let's keep it moving. Next question.
Hello. This is Anthony, aka Swip Stickers, and I thought long and hard about the question I wanted to ask, mostly because I already terrorized you guys in the Patreon. But then I thought of a really good one. It's a two-part question. Part one, we all watch things and we have our nostalgia goggles on, and when you rewatch things, sometimes you're like, damn, that is not the movie I thought it was. What movie has surprised you guys the most that you've gone into it going, I remember this movie being so amazing or this way, and when you watched it, you're like, son of a bitch, this is a very different movie than I remembered it being. Part two, what movie have you guys not watched yet that you're kind of afraid to have those nostalgia goggles removed from? What movie have you guys not watched yet where you're like, I kind of am worried that this movie will not be what I thought it was? Thank you guys again. I listen to the pod loyally. It's a great podcast. I don't listen to a lot of podcasts. The only other ones I listen to are Dungeons and Dragons ones, and one about how all the X-Men are probably gay. So this has been a great find when I first found you guys, because it really does feel like just hearing my friends at the comic shop bitch about movies. So keep it going. I'm so glad you guys got to 100. Bye.
The one and only Swift Stickers.
The one and only. I'm very interested to hear about this X-Men podcast. I might need to start listening to that. Oh my God. Yes, loyal patron and loyal listener and commenter and movie requester.
Yes.
The one and only Thwip Stickers. So I think in terms of the first question about movies that we remember being good, but they weren't as good on the rewatch, again, I go back to our recorded VHS tapes. And actually, no, I take that back, because I'm pretty sure we had the official VHS of this movie, but Beethoven was a movie that we watched so often. We loved this movie as kids. We watched it all the time. I feel like there are certain lines of this movie that I just have memorized from how often we watched it. And then when we rewatched it for the pod, I was like, this movie actually wasn't that good. Like, it wasn't very entertaining. The story was kind of meh. And it really just didn't hit the same. And I understand that I'm now an adult and I'm no longer a child. And so, like, watching a kid's movie, there's always going to be a little bit missing because you're not 8 years old anymore. But I feel like there are other kids' movies that we've covered that still hold up in terms of entertainment value. But I was a little disappointed by that. And the other one for me was You Got Mail.
Oh, bro.
Which was actually our first episode.
Yeah. You hated him.
Yeah, I remember that movie being good when I watched it in like 1998 or whenever. This was a family movie night. I distinctly remember sitting on the couch watching this movie. And I was like, oh, that movie was so fun. And I think some of what made it so interesting at the time was like the internet was so new. And I feel like this whole idea of someone finding romance through the internet made it like such an interesting concept. And now that's like very normal. And so the novelty of it is gone. And I think some of the stuff that they did tech-wise was still kind of cool. But man, these characters were not likable, especially Joe Fox. And I really don't feel like he deserved to get the woman at the end. So that always turns me off from a movie when the couple falls for each other at the end. And I'm like, I really don't think they should have been together.
Yeah, that sums it up for you. All right, for me, the number one movie that broke my heart on the rewatch was Cruel Intentions.
Oh yeah, you
because
used to.
Baby, I used to love.
Oh man, you used to talk about this movie all the time.
Yes, because Ryan Phillippe, which I found out was the correct way to say his name, Ryan Phillippe was in it, and I was obsessed with him. And
the bittersweet symphony of it all.
Yes, all of it.
Which is still a fantastic scene, to be fair.
And so yeah, that really hurt my heart because it's disgusting to watch back. And the second one is Never Been Kissed, because my God, that whole storyline of the teacher falling for the student thinking she was in high school and then getting mad when he finds out she's actually an adult.
Oh, not good.
It just did not age well at all.
Not great.
All right, so part two of his question.
Right, so the second part of the question was about like movies that we're kind of afraid to watch because we're afraid that we're not going to like it anymore after rewatching it. Again, this goes back to like the whole Disney VHS, the allure of the plastic case. But this is a movie I really used to love, Mighty Ducks 2. Not Mighty Ducks, but for some reason, Mighty Ducks 2, I watched so many times. And this is when they go to the Junior Olympics and they play against Iceland. And there's there's this whole storyline, and like Iceland's like their big like rival, but then Gordon Bombay like starts like canoodling with like one of the coaches because they have like this female.
You're giving
coach.
the whole plot. Is that
this is I'm saying like this is D2 like it's D2.
Okay,
they had the what were they called, the Smash Brothers or something, the Bash Brothers.
I have no recollection of that movie, so I don't know.
Anyway, I have not seen this movie in probably 20 years. So that is a movie that I'm very scared to find out isn't as good as I remember it in my head.
So my answer is one that I'm pretty sure is not going to age well, but I used to love it when I was younger. Now, we've talked on the pod probably ad nauseum as to how I feel about your boy Adam Sandler. I don't find him very amusing.
You know
so
what?
Hot.
So hot.
Yeah.
So hot.
Yeah, like I don't like that. But Big Daddy was my movie. Like that was the one movie from Adam Sandler that I thought was hilarious. And I'm pretty sure if I watch it back now, I'm gonna hate it. So I'm a little afraid to watch that.
No, I'll definitely double click on that one because I do remember thinking that movie was hilarious when I was 12.
Yeah.
And it probably only was hilarious because I was 12.
Yeah, I'm scared.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
All right, so this next question was not left as a voicemail, but was left as an actual, I believe, an email. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to say this came from Ben, one of our listeners, and he wants to know, what are some 90s movies that we feel are overrated? And what are some 90s movies that we think are underrated? Mm-hmm. And again, like this is a question that I think could have been answered a lot of different ways. So I decided to answer it specifically using the movies that we rewatched for the podcast, because there's a lot of movies we haven't rewatched that I could have used to answer this. Mm-hmm. But
you want to just both do overrated first and then both do underrated?
Yeah, let's go. So first of all, I'll say overrated. I think this is gonna feel like I'm piling on Adam Sandler here, but I'm gonna go with Billy Madison again. And the other thing that I'll say about this movie, not only the fact that I have friends, some of them who are probably listening to this, and you know who you are, who love this movie, and I feel like kids were always like, Adam Sandler was the man. Like, he was just so funny to like 10-year-olds when we were growing up. But I feel like I also never actually watched the whole thing. And I mentioned this on the Billy Madison episode, but the only thing I remembered about this movie was the end when they had what was it, like the Olympics thing?
Yes.
And then
some quiz thing he had
the
going
quiz
on.
Olympics. Yeah. And then he gives the answer at the end. And then the quiz master basically says, like, we're all dumber for having listened to this. And that part is like legitimately funny. And I feel like that was the only part of the movie I remembered. So in my head, I was like, oh, that movie was funny. But everything else in the movie is so bad that it, like, the end of the movie can't save it. So I feel like that movie was overrated. The other one for me is Pretty Woman. Which, like, again, like, this is not really a romantic movie for me. Again, like, I'm repeating a lot of the sentiments that I've already said on previous episodes, which is kind of the point of episode 100. But the Pretty Woman one is just like, this story is not really, this is not the rags to riches story that I feel like people make it out to be. I mean, in theory, technically it's a rags to riches story because she's poor and by the end she's with this rich guy. But like, I wasn't buying the romance.
Wait, so you weren't moved by the kiss on the mouth sex?
I can't say that I was. Like, I wasn't feeling it. I can't, like, it's a fine movie. I think it's better than Billy Madison, but I don't think it's as good as people make it out to be. As a matter of fact, another movie that we watch on this podcast has characters watching Pretty Woman. Do you remember?
Wait, is it Romeo and Michelle's high school?
It was Romeo and Michelle.
High school reunion. Yes.
It was Romeo and Michelle.
Points for me.
So yeah, those are my two overrated movies.
Okay, my overrated movies, if I'm going to pick two, Waiting to Exhale. And I hate to say it. I hate to say it.
You hate to say it as a black woman?
Yeah, it's like a black classic. It's like,
it is
talking about how trash men can be in relationships and, having the sisterhood, your friends being there for you so you're not alone and all of that. But there were just so many things in the movie that was giving like mixed messages. Like, for instance, one of the main characters is upset because, her husband ends up leaving her, for this white woman. But then she ends up going out and sleeping with a guy who's married. And I'm like, so what? And then Whitney Houston's character.
It was almost like it's only bad when a white woman does it to your man.
Yeah.
But if you do it to somebody else's man, it's fine.
And then Whitney Houston's character is basically dating a married guy with a kid.
Nah, it's
And the
crazy.
mom's talking about Savannah. He's a good man. It's like it didn't age well for me at all.
He's a good man, Savannah.
Yeah,
A good man. Wait, wasn't that
Add that to an impersonation.
He's a good man, Savannah. Wasn't that what's her name from Blackish? The mom. What's her name?
No.
That wasn't her?
Her
You know
mom,
what I'm talking about?
yeah, her mom was an older black woman. I feel like that wasn't her.
Jennifer Lewis?
No,
Wasn't her?
I don't think that was her.
Okay.
She had like
All
an older mom. It wasn't her.
right.
But anyway, yeah. So that's my first one, and then Can't Hardly Wait, man. And again, y'all love this one. Matter of fact, Joel and I went back and realized that Can't Hardly Wait was actually our first requested episode.
That's right.
Episode number 7.
Episode 7.
And I mean, y'all love this movie. Like, y'all love it. And I really went into it like ready to love it. And on the rewatch, man, it did nothing for me. And going back to episode 1, Joel mentioned You Got Mail, the man who gets the girl, and it's like, why did he get the girl? It's still very unclear to me. Like, what? Because he loved her since the first time he saw her in class? What did he do to get this girl? Why did she like him?
And the shirt combo was trash, bro.
You hated his outfit.
I hated his outfit. Preston, you gotta get Preston out of here, dog. I wasn't feeling Preston.
Yeah, so yeah, those two for me, I would say were overrated. All right, what about underrated? What did you think?
I mean, we already talked about, you mentioned First Wives Club.
Oh, so good.
Which again, like, better than I remembered. The other one for me is The Good Son.
Ooh.
Which is like super dark.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's not a movie that you probably are going to want to watch once a month. But man, Macaulay Culkin and Elijah Wood give amazing performances. And I don't think either one of them is even 13 years old yet.
Yeah.
Like, these two kids carried this movie, this super dark R-rated movie, are carried by two kids.
Yeah.
And I feel like people kind of only bring this movie up as a punchline, but like, I was legitimately entertained watching it. I was terrified, but I was glued to the screen, and that's really what you want from a film. So to me, that one is underrated.
Okay, I can see that. For me, the first one I'd have to say is Ghost, and probably for the same reason that you mentioned for Good Son, and the fact that people always talk about it like, oh, that stupid scene, which I thought that Swayze was sitting behind Demi Moore and then Whoopi goes into his body. That's not even actually what happens at all. It happens much later on in the film, and it happens for like 3 seconds.
Yes.
Like, she does not possess him for very long. And honestly, I found that the romance between the two seemed to be very legit, very real. And just the way they filmed the scene when Swayze's character, I think his name is Sam, he gets shot. And then he thinks that he's still alive and running after the bad guy, and he turns around and sees his dead body. Man, my brain was blown. Like,
nah, Ghost was kind of fire.
it was really good.
Ghost was kind of fire.
It was fun. I was into it.
I thought it was going to be, I was second this one too, because I thought it was going to be like a cheesy romance movie. And there was like a little bit of cheese, but it wasn't the level of cheese that I thought it was going to be. Like, it was actually
wasn't fondue.
It was kind of like a thriller movie.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be at all.
Yeah. And my second one would have to be Urban Legend. Again, people see this as like a bootleg Scream. And I'm like, it actually was better than I remembered. Because when you're watching it in the 90s, anything that happens after Scream, you're already kind of putting it like it's less than. It's not as good, because Scream was like the horror movie at the time.
But a bootleg Scream was I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah. But still, I feel like everything else kind of came second to it. And so watching Urban Legend
this
now,
might have came third.
But watching it now, I was like, this is actually pretty smart to think about actual urban legends and then acting them out and then changing them up a little bit and who's the killer and why. I was invested in the storyline. So that would be my second answer.
All right. Let's go to the next voicemail.
Okay.
Hey y'all, this is Tanea from the Bay Area, Day One listener and Patreon member, and I wanted to know, first of all, if there was ever going to be any justice for the fifth element in this 100th episode. We need it. But really, related to that, I know that some of us were really ride or die for The Fifth Element because it was one of our favorite movies growing up and during the 90s. And I'm curious, how are y'all feeling about movies that you were familiar with and loved in the 90s compared to movies that you had never seen before that you saw for the first time for the pod? Has your opinion on any of your childhood favorites shifted when you rewatched them? And have you gotten some new 90s favorites from any of the new movies you watched from the pod? Thank you.
All right. Shout out to Tanea for those questions. I guess, first of all, we should just address the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess is no longer an elephant because she was adamant about this Fifth Element.
You want to start
Justice.
with what we actually rated it so people have an idea of
What did we rate it?
So your rating was a 2.8 and my rating was a 2.5.
I hedged. I was like, it was like close to a 3. I feel like those ratings are indicative of the fact that you dislike this movie more than I did.
Yes.
But neither of us really liked it that much. I would say this, in Tanea's defense, and anyone else who's a Fifth Element fan, I did appreciate the futurism. I really appreciated Chris Tucker. He was very entertaining. I thought some of the ideas in terms of just like what the future New York City could look like, or, the taxis and the apartments, like a lot of that was admittedly really cool. And that's why this movie was not like a stinker. The other side of that is the plot line was a little bit all over the place. And I thought, when we talk about the fondue versus the Wisconsin, versus the, what else do we have? The brie, like
the American cheese.
The American, like this movie was very heavy on cheese.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of cheese, especially like the last 20 minutes were like, it was out of this world. The whole thing, especially when she's like, when she like memorizes everything she reads on the internet, and then she's like, her brain cannot compute the idea of war.
Yeah, I'm like, girl,
it was too
girl.
much. It was too much. It was too much. The end was it was way too cheesy.
Not to mention this,
when these 5 elements combine, it was too much. Man.
She's the perfect being. She's perfect, right?
She's perfect.
Perfect being, but yet she still needed a male counterpart to love her.
Of course.
Why? Why do these women always need love in these films?
Because no woman is complete without the love of some scruffy man who's down on his luck, but is really just misunderstood. So yeah, if I were to give any justice, I will, to appease Tanea, I will bump my 2.8 up to a 3, and that's as far as I'm going.
Okay, that's nice of you.
What about you?
I'm not changing it. I actually went back and looked at like our TikTok videos.
No justice, no peace.
No, like that TikTok video of that blue lady singing. I was like,
that was fire.
That did me in. I was like, yeah. 2.5, baby. Sorry, Tanea.
Corbin, my man. Corbin.
Yeah, sorry.
All right. So the other question she asked was about movies that we're familiar with and how they compare to movies that we've never seen before. And I do think that when we talk about like our rewind rating specifically, I think that I do oftentimes like hedge a little bit when it comes to movies that I'm familiar with and I have some sort of emotional attachment to. I can sometimes give it more points than maybe it deserves.
Yeah, that's natural.
Versus like, I'm watching this movie as a 39-year-old man with no sort of emotional attachment to it. I'm not going to care about rating it low.
Correct.
So I do think that there is a little bit of bias, but I think answering some of the earlier questions are proof that like some movies actually just stink. So
yeah, agree with all that. So the last part of her question was, do we have any new favorites from watching for the first time for the pod? And I absolutely do. The 2 that I can think of is Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. I really enjoyed that. Christina Applegate was
Yeah.
really fun. Like all the scenes with her and her brother fighting like they're a married couple, them trying to be an adult.
That was the highlight of the movie for me. When her brother was acting like a single mom.
Oh my God, fantastic.
That was such a funny scene.
Fantastic. Like, her trying to come up with this fashion show. It was just all very enjoyable. And I actually forgot the babysitter was even dead. Which is wild.
That's very funny.
Until the end, I was like,
God.
oh, yeah, she did die.
I forgot the babysitter was dead.
Yeah, it was so entertaining. I forgot all about it. And
Don't remind me the babysitter's dead.
And then the second one would have to be A Bronx Tale. Strong movie.
Banger.
Great acting. Those kids were phenomenal. And I really enjoyed watching it and recording it. So, yeah, definitely some new saves for the first time. How do
you feel about the door test?
That's not practical.
It's not practical?
No.
Oh, I guess now that we have automatic locks on the door, you don't have to go pull it up. Yeah. My new faves are, I mean, I won't belabor the point. I also had Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Not a movie that I had ever seen before. Really enjoyed it. And the other one is one that you mentioned as an underrated film, Ghost.
Yeah.
All right. Our next question came in the form of an email from a listener named Ruby, who we've gotten a number of requests from in the past. She's been a lucky duck many times in the first 99
you gotta
episodes.
say the full name.
Oh, Ruby Rube, Rubik's Cube?
Yeah.
So Ruby asks us for our favorite episodes and also for our favorite movie moments based on the episodes based on the movies we've already covered.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll let you answer the first part. What were some of your favorite episodes that we've had so far?
Man, so it was very hard because I love a lot of these, but I want to narrow it down a little bit. So the first one that came to my mind was Clueless, because I think that was like one of the first episodes where, every week I will put out these little like video clips that we'll put on Instagram and Facebook Reels and on TikTok that kind of give potential listeners and also regular listeners a snippet of like what we recorded that week. And there's a clip that we did where we were talking about Cher having a crush on Christian, and just the way he was talking crazy. She had no idea he was gay. He comes into the house. He's talking to her pops about how he got a nice pile of bricks he got here. And every time I watch that clip, I just die laughing because like your impersonation was so funny.
Nice pile of bricks you got here, pal.
That episode was unhinged. It was so funny. Makes me laugh every single time. The second one was our very first episode we did with our younger brother, Dave, with Kindergarten Cop.
Shout out to Dave.
I've had a number of listeners tell me that they love that episode.
Oh, all right.
Because it's just really funny. And again, it goes back to Megan's question on your impersonations. You do Arnold Schwarzenegger in that episode a few times.
It's not a tumor.
There's a lot of things in that film that like don't make any sense whatsoever. But I still gave it a 4.5. So it's like...
They're gonna do it.
Our mom says our dad's a real sex machine.
Oh, yeah, baby.
It's a fantastic movie. And then the last one...
Dave was like, I don't understand why you guys love this movie. I don't get it.
He didn't like it at all. And then the last one that that stood out to me was Armageddon. When we were just talking about how nonsensical everything about that film was, the plot. It's just the roughneck of it all.
The roughneck of it all.
Funny episode.
Oh, man.
Funny
all
episode.
Right. So there are so many different ways that I could have answered this question about my favorite movie moments. So I decided to take a musical theme. And I thought about all of my favorite music-related moments in the movies that we've watched thus far.
Ooh.
So first and foremost, I have to shout out Sister Act, where Sister Mary Clarence has the nuns singing "Oh Maria."
Oh yeah, that's great.
Just fantastic. I'm also thinking about an episode that we covered not too long ago, a Goofy movie, which will come as a surprise to no one because all I've done is rave about Eye to Eye, and with Goofy getting on stage with power line and doing the perfect cast is just a fantastic moments that I will never tire of, no matter how old I get.
You have to smile every time.
The next one for me came from a movie that I did not love, Major Pain, but did love when they go to the military games and Orlando Brown starts doing this like hip hop dancing in the middle of the military games performance where they're supposed to be basically doing a organized march, and it turns into a dance performance. Orlando Brown was the star of that movie as far as I'm concerned.
Oh my gosh.
Two more. One is, or I guess number 4, is the dance that all of the seniors do at the prom in She's All That.
Ooh, that's when Usher was a DJ.
Usher very much was the DJ. I believe they were dancing to Funk Soul Brother.
Yeah, that was good. No, that was good.
That joint was fire.
That joint was good.
And the last one for me is one that you actually mentioned previously, the You Don't Own Me ending scene of First Wives Club.
You don't own me. Ba, ba, ba. I'm not one of yours. Oh, it's so good.
So those are my favorite moments. And I'm sure there are many others, but I decided to go with a music theme.
All
right. We got more voicemails. We're not done yet. Let's go to the next one.
All right.
Hello, you both. This is your mommy. I am calling to ask a question. How did you both came up with the title Rewind, Rewatch? That's my question. Take care. Love you both. Bye.
Oh, hi, Mom.
Hey. Hey, Mommy. So I think to actually do the pod at all, it was my idea. I had been listening to a bunch of podcasts and I started thinking about it like, yo, Joelle and I grew up watching 90s movies. And so I think it would be dope if we like did a podcast. And so I kicked the idea around. Joelle loved it. And then we started thinking about like, what could we possibly name the pod? We started thinking about things like recap, right? And then it was like, you know, Blockbuster had a whole theme about like be kind and rewind. So we're like recap, rewind. I don't know. And I think Joelle may have come up with like the final rewind, rewatch title. But yeah, we just decided to go ahead and make a show. Honestly, like starting it up, we just thought that it would be something we would do for fun. It wasn't going to be a big deal.
I mean, it is still fun.
Yeah, yes, but
we are still doing it.
But also, I thought it'd be like maybe we get like 10 listeners. Like I didn't think the first episode would, you know, get as many listeners as we did. So shout out to all of y'all.
Yeah, shout out to Blockbusters as well. R.I.P. Y'all held out for as long as you could.
Man.
All right, let's keep it going.
Hi guys, it's your old pops, and I'm curious to know how many times you have made fun of me on the podcast in the first 100 episodes. I laugh out loud. And when you answer, just talk to me like I'm 5 years old, okay? Love you both. Bye.
Of course. Of course. Of course. I told you all that phrase has had this man in a chokehold for the past 30 years.
But I also have to say, like, Dad is a true Leo.
What's that mean?
Because only a Leo would call in and ask a question about themselves. I'm just saying.
Oh my god!
They can't help it. They can't help it.
Nah. This is definitely who this guy is. And then it's also the fact that he's actually answering the question he's answering his own question in the question. Like, oh yeah, talk to me like I'm 5 years old. Straight out of Philadelphia, like straight out of it. It's like, come on, man. How could we not make fun of this? How could we not?
So that's the first one, obviously, because he gave it to us right there in Philadelphia. The second one that I think about is Clueless. There's a scene there where I think Dion is trying to drive on the highway and like almost crashes. It's a hot mess. They're all in the car. And I told a story about how whenever we go back home and we're driving one of their cars and we try to park in the garage, Dad comes out and he's like trying to direct us to tell us how to park.
Every time.
And it's like, I've been driving for how many years now? He's trying
never long enough.
Yeah. Mom lives there and he still has to direct Mom to come in.
It's so funny because Mom gets so annoyed.
Yeah. She's like, oh, just go inside now.
So what do you think I do when you're not home, huh? I can't park the car?
Wait, I have a funny story about Dad real fast. So for my high school prom, I was going to the actual prom. Me, my best friend, and our then boyfriends, we went in horse and carriage. And of course, like trying to drive on the streets in a horse and carriage to get to a prom, you know, traffic can get a little bit crazy. At one point, Dad is driving like in front of us to try to clear the traffic out. He hops out of his car and starts directing the traffic, like hands out, telling people turn.
No
wait,
badge,
wait.
no badge, no vest. No.
Just a regular person hopping
just-
out in the
just
middle
a
of the
guy.
road.
Yeah,
and he's
just-
just telling people like, go. No, you wait, you go. And I'm like, man, this man got the confidence of, I don't even
Of
know.
a Leo.
Yes, of a Leo. So we have Philadelphia, Clueless, and lastly, I would say Beethoven, because I
my
believe we
God.
mentioned how much Dad hated
Oh
that
my
movie
God.
growing up.
To this day.
Because the father was, you know, a complete mess. Beethoven was
The house was a complete mess.
slobbering and bringing mud all over the place. And everyone's kind of like, Dad, relax. Dad, calm down. What are you talking about, Dad? And he's like, oh, I hate this movie.
Yeah.
And Dad's always the idiot. He gets mad and storms out of the room.
Yep, that's usually what would
So
happen.
yes, those are the three answers I have for Pops.
Love you, Dad.
Hi, this is Destiny, and I have 2 questions to ask. So, my first question is, if you can remember, what's the first movie you've ever seen in theaters? And then my next question is, what are your opinions on remakes and reboots of films and TV shows? That is all. I hope you guys have a wonderful new year, and congrats on 100 episodes. Bye.
Okay, so for the first question, the first movie you saw in theaters, it's funny. I was thinking about this, and I distinctly remember watching Snow White, but I was like, it makes no sense because that movie came out in like the 30s. But then I looked it up, and I realized that Disney re-released this movie multiple times in theaters, including in 1987 and 1993. I was born in 84. So I'm thinking it may have been in 93, but I definitely remember going and like being terrified of the Queen when she transforms into that old woman and gives her the poisonous apple.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
terrified of her. So that's the first movie I recall watching in theaters.
It was funny you mentioned that because I remember being terrified of the Queen in Snow White when we went to Disneyland.
Oh yeah, that was we were in that boat.
Yep.
Oh, that scared me.
It was a Snow White ride that they had in the early 90s. I must have been no older than 6. Probably even younger than that. And we get in the ride and it's Snow White and it's the hi-ho, hi-ho.
Mm-hmm.
And then at some point, that witch comes on screen and I lost it. I was terrified. It got dark. The witch came. She started... And I was like, Mommy! I lost it. But to answer the question, the first question anyway, I do not remember the first movie that I saw in theaters, but I think one of my earliest movie-going memories is going to see Rookie of the Year with my second cousin, technically my dad's cousin, who was like babysitting us. I think my parents were out of town. And we decided to go to the movies, and we saw Rookie of the Year, which came out in 93. So I would have been 7. So I don't know if that was, but that was like a really fun experience and like a good, like I can remember going to the movies and seeing that one. The second question was about remakes and reboots, which like personally, I am not a big fan of. Like, here's the thing. I feel like usually when you're remaking a movie or a TV show or whatever, you're usually remaking something that's beloved or beloved by people because it was really good. So usually if you remake it or reboot it, you're only going to make it worse. Like that's really like,
Yeah.
You very rarely see a remake that you're like, oh, like this is better than the thing that we already all loved. Like, did we need a new Hawaii 5-0? Did we need a new Fresh Prince? Did we need a new Full House?
Some people love that Fresh
And
Prince.
people do love Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
And I've never watched it. You want to know why? Because I already love the real Fresh Prince. And I'm like, there's no way this is going to be better.
It's also like a drama too. Like,
yeah, it's a completely different thing.
So
So this would be called like a reboot or a reimagining, which is like fine. And I get it. And I understand that by all accounts, it's a pretty good show. But it's like, do we need this? I think that things should only be remade if they were made poorly the first time. And they're like, you know what? This was actually a really good idea, but the execution was poor.
Let's do it
Let's
better.
reboot it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's worth a remake because it's like, we're going to try this again and try to get it better. When it comes to reboots, the most recent rumor I heard is that they're coming out with a reboot of Different World. And they have like the whole cast involved. So I don't know what. I guess they're going to be working at Hillman now because obviously they're all like in their 50s.
I don't know. I know Scrubs did one.
Okay.
Scrubs
I mean, we also have the Sex and the City reboot.
Oh, God.
That you hated.
That
And it sounds like everybody hates.
It's over now. I think they finished it out.
But yeah, just like, I don't know. I feel like the best case scenario is that it's going to be as good.
Yes.
But it's rarely ever going to be better. So like, maybe just come up with a new idea. I'm a big fan of that.
This is Hollywood, Joel. That's not how it works.
I'm a big fan of new ideas. I'm a big fan of that.
All right.
Let's keep it going.
First of all, I want to say congratulations on the podcast. This is Greg calling from Baltimore. And my question is this. Of all of the movies that you all have reviewed, which one or which ones would you be most anxious to see a sequel for? And which one or which ones would you be least anxious to see a sequel for? Thanks for taking my call. Talk to y'all later and continue success. Peace.
All right. So I think for me, when I think about anxious, for me, that's like something that would make me nervous.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, like the movie that would make me most nervous about a sequel would probably be Clueless. And this kind of goes back to my answer from the previous question. Like, I feel like Clueless is like a timeless, like 90s, like it captures a very specific moment in like pop culture. It was just like, it was perfect for the time that it came out. And it has aged really well. There are obviously things in the movie that have aged poorly, but I think generally as a film, it's aged really well. So I feel like if they try to like have like a Clueless 2 where like Cher's a mom and she's now raising this daughter and like that would make me very, very anxious.
You don't want to see Cher married to Josh?
I don't think I do. and here's what makes me most anxious about it. I know I would watch it. I know I would watch it, and I would be like peeking through my hands the entire time, waiting for the cringe, because that would make me really anxious. What about you?
So, the most anxious, only because I think it would be utterly ridiculous, would to be if they had a part 2 to set it off.
Oh well, it's only going to be about the one character that survived, so. It would be her in Mexico with all of the money that they stole.
Pretty much, because it's like at this point, the story has been told. It's over. So, I mean, unless they're going to try to have Harvard Man, go to Mexico.
Oh, that's right.
And seek her out. Keith goes to see Stoney, I guess, in Mexico. So he's trying to struggle between, I guess, keeping the secret of what she did because he loves her. And, I mean, it just sounds like a hot mess.
This is the problem with sequels is when it's like, yo, this movie was a success. Let's make another one. But the movie was never made to be continued.
But remember, they were going to make a second one.
No, I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is a lot of times this happens in Hollywood where like a movie hits and then instead of like just letting it be a hit, they try to make a sequel out of it. but the story doesn't really allow for one. So then they have to like try to shoehorn this ridiculous like, well, what if? And it's like, bro, just leave it alone.
All right, what
So I
about
think that's a good one.
least anxious to see?
Least anxious for me, again, I thought of this as like, what would I be least nervous about? And what would be really fun to see a sequel of? And I think of the movies we've watched, I might be interested in a sequel of The Birdcage.
Ooh.
Because I feel like we had really rich characters. Obviously, Robin Williams is no longer with us, R.I.P. But I think you could do something with Nathan Lane.
Oh my God, yes. Yes.
Who pretty much carried that movie. And maybe he's now a widower who's now becoming a grandfather.
Oh yeah, I would so watch that.
And not only that, you still have to figure out, then it becomes like a Meet the Fockers situation, right? Where you have like these two families that are very different. You have these, you know, this one guy who was raised by two dads and this other girl who was raised by these two conservatives, and what happens when their families get blended.
Yeah, I would so watch that.
That sounds good, right?
Yeah, I would definitely watch that. My answer would be 7.
Okay.
Because
explain this. I'm very interested to hear.
I'm thinking, okay, so we know at the end of 7 that Brad Pitt's character basically ends up shooting and killing the murderer.
And he's like shell-shocked. And
Right. But we don't know what happens to him. Remember, we were thinking like, do the cops, you know, cover up what happens, excuse him? I think his brain might be broken because his wife is now dead. His unborn is now dead.
Unborn child.
Yes. He's also like no longer going to be a cop, most likely. Maybe. We don't know. So it's like,
who knows?
So it's like, does he go to a psych ward? What happens there? Or is it like, do we fast forward 15 years so now he's like out of the psych ward and he's trying to navigate his life? We can see where his ex-partner is now, because at the end of the movie, it seems as if Morgan Freeman's character is going to stick around. He said, I'll see you around, or I'll be here.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like, is he still a cop? And then also like maybe there's another case that comes up and we can kind of see like how he's navigating life now with the demons he had to face from what happened to him in the past moving forward. I love a dark movie, so I feel like I'd love to see the aftermath of his character to see where it goes from here, where his mind is now.
Well, I have to ask the most important question, which is, if you make a sequel, is the movie called 8?
No, because
or is it just called 7-2?
7-2. What?
7 again.
7. I don't know.
I'll give you time. I'll give
know.
you time to think about it.
I gotta workshop that.
All right. Next question.
G'day, Joel and Andreen. Greetings from Australia. Cheers for the awesome podcast. I look forward to it every Friday. My question is, if you rewatch Batman Forever, will it be with Movie Spash? Oh, and I know that you mentioned that you'll never cover Home Alone 3, but I really suggest that you do. It's my favorite of the entire series, and yes, I was born in 83, so the first 2 were tailor-made for me, but the third one's pretty good as well. Anyway, hope you guys have an awesome day, and I look forward to the next episode. Cheers, Ben.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, we got an international listener.
We have many international listeners. Thank you very much. But shout out to Ben for that wonderful question. And he refers to the Movie Smash podcast, who we partnered with we guested on their show to watch Batman and Robin, and they guested on our show to watch Airheads.
Yep.
And yeah, I think we would have to just connect with them to see if they would be up for it. But we would definitely. I'm always here to watch more Batman movies. So, Batman Forever was about as equally ridiculous as Batman and Robin. So I feel like there would be plenty of laughs in that. Yeah. The second question sounded like a request.
Yeah,
it sounded like he was putting in a request for Home Alone 3. What are your thoughts on Home Alone 3, especially considering that neither of us has ever even watched it?
Well, the thing about it is, if you recall, I believe we said on the episode that we had no interest because, we don't have Macaulay Culkin. So it's like, you got a new cast, and our concern is like, when you take a movie and then you change the cast up, it's really no longer that movie.
I agree.
So
I mean, I've never seen it for a reason.
Calling it Home Alone 3, it's like, just call it something else.
Ben did give a pretty strong recommendation.
He did. He did.
He is a fellow millennial who said that Home Alone 3 is his favorite Home Alone.
Which
I've never heard before.
That is the hottest of takes I think I've heard.
It's a fire hot take.
Yeah.
Does that make you want to watch the movie a little bit?
It kind of does.
It kind of does.
It kind of does. Because honestly, like, Ben listens to Movie Smash and our podcast. So he has great taste.
Okay.
We know that.
We do know that.
So maybe we should add it to the list and,
It is officially added to the list.
Yeah.
We'll see how long it takes before we select it, but it's been noted, Ben. It's been noted. We will put it under consideration.
Hey, Joel and Andreen. This is Jeremy from Georgia, Lucky Duck number 1. My question is, what's your favorite 90s movie trope? Like, one of the things I love about you guys' podcast is that the 90s were such a silly time for silly things, and it's fun to reminisce on them plots that would never make it today, strolled in the 90s, and there was still so many tropes that carry through so many movies, like an ugly girl who's only ugly until she takes her glasses off and suddenly she's stunning, or the amount of times that a plot is driven off a simple misunderstanding or an unnecessary lie, and so many explosions. And also, you guys talk about the 90s movie kiss, but I want to know individually, what's your favorite 90s movie trope? Thanks.
This is a great question. Shout out to Jeremy, Lucky Duck number 1, apparently. Self-professed. He named a few good ones in there.
Yeah.
I think my favorite 90s movie trope is when action movies completely defy physics. Like, this could never happen in real life. Just like, it doesn't actually make sense, but because it's an action movie and because we need to see cool things happen and explosions and cool jumps, I think automatically there's 2 movies that come to mind. Number 1 is Speed.
Oh, yeah.
Where we talk about, a bus that's driving 60 miles per hour somehow jumps over a huge gap in a bridge by everyone on the bus simply shrugging their shoulders up as if they are hopping in a Mario Kart. They're just, I don't even understand exactly how that.
You gotta pull the wheel up like you're in a plane.
Yeah, you yank the wheel and you shrug your shoulders up and the whole bus jumps over.
Correct.
And before we actually started recording, Andreen and I were laughing about the plot of Armageddon.
Oh, dear God.
And it's just like everything about that. But that movie also had a ridiculous vehicle jump while on the asteroid.
Yeah, that's right.
They're on the asteroid driving around in these little space buggies. And
they're on the wrong side of the asteroid or something.
They're trying to get over I don't even remember exactly what happens. But again, shrug the shoulders up, yank the wheel, and the entire car jumps. So that is probably my favorite. There's a few other examples, like True Lies had a few with like the gun bouncing on the stairs.
Oh, that was fun.
Boondock Saints had a few as well. But every 90s movie, that's my favorite one, is when the action movies just say like, this defies the laws of physics, but we're going to make it happen just for the good guys.
Yeah, you have to. For me, the first thing I thought about was how in the 90s, every movie pretty much had a catchphrase. I don't think they really do that anymore. Like, when I think about movies that come out now, like, there's not a line that you can just say and everybody knows what that movie is, But in the 90s...
Well, that's a part of the monoculture, too. Everybody's not watching the same movies.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a Marvel movie or something like that.
Exactly. But going back to the 90s and catchphrases, I just kind of picked out a few that everyone's going to know the film based on a catchphrase. So you have one, keep the change, you filthy animal. Like, you hear that and you know.
Yeah, you know.
You know what that is. Joel's impersonation, you want to say... It's not a tumor?
It's not a tumor.
Kindergarten Cop. Do you like scary movies? Everybody knows that Scream. You got As If.
That's iconic, man.
I mean,
It's iconic.
that became its own phrase. Like people like
That line
as
has
if-
to be in the sequel, by the way, guys.
Yeah, as if has to be there.
Yeah.
What's in the box at the end of
Oh,
7
my God.
is classic. Do I make you horny, baby?
Do I make you horny, baby? Yeah, baby, yeah.
Life's like a box of chocolates.
You never know what you're going to get.
And the last one that I love is Big Mistake. Big. Huge.
Oh, from my favorite movie.
Your favorite movie, Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love the catchphrases. 90s movies was absolutely a wild time.
It was a wild time. All right. Back to the voicemails.
Okay. Hello, this is Nick from Baltimore. I have some ideas for awards, some like one-off awards for the first 100 movies. Well, I guess 99 movies you've reviewed. The first award is the best fight or shootout out of all the movies you've reviewed so far. Best chemistry or romance in a non-romantic film. Number 3 is the most entertaining crash out from an individual character. And then lastly, I'm interested in who you would say are the MVPs, like the 2 most important actors or actresses from the 90s based on the movies you reviewed so far. Love the podcast. Keep it up. Have a good one.
All right. Shout out to Nick from Baltimore with a full clip of questions.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited.
Some awards that we can give out. So the first one was about the best fight scene or the best shootout. And when we think about awards, of course, awards have to have nominees.
You have to.
So Andrina and I could not settle on one answer. We had so many answers for each of these questions. So we decided to list a number of nominees and then crown a winner. So for the best fight or shootout, we had 4 nominees. One was a fight between Paul and Annie at the end of Misery.
It's a good one.
Where he bashes her in the head with a typewriter. The second was the fight scene in Rush Hour at the pool hall, where Jackie Chan's character starts fighting everyone after he calls somebody the N-word.
What's up, my nigga?
What's up, my nigga? Our third nominee is from the movie The Craft, where the Sarah character gets into a magic fight with the other 3 witches. And our fourth nominee is also a magic fight between Jafar and Aladdin in the movie Aladdin. And the winner, drum roll please,
I don't know what that was.
Jackie Chan in Rush Hour.
Oh, yeah. Like, for me, that scene, the way, I mean, he's flipping over and under pool tables. He's breaking, like, the cue sticks in half. And
he smashes a pool ball against someone's head.
Yeah. I mean, Jackie Chan is just out of this world when you watch him.
He's crazy.
It's like, what are you doing? Yeah, that scene blows my mind every time.
Okay. The second question, I don't think that we answered it properly. Because he did ask for the best chemistry or romance in a non-romance film. I don't think we necessarily heard that correctly because some of the nominees here were technically romantic films, but I will read them out anyway. Firstly, we have Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore as Sam and Molly in the movie Ghost. Second, we have Ryan Phillippe and Reese Witherspoon in the movie Cruel Intentions. Third, we have Gomez and Morticia, played by Raul Julia and Angelica Houston in The Addams Family. And last but not least, Leo and Claire Danes in Romeo and Juliet. And the winner is...
The winner is Raul Julia and Angelica Houston in The Addams Family. And for me, like...
And technically the winner is from a non-romantic film.
It does work
out.
Yeah, I just loved how much they loved each other in this film. It's like they're just both a bunch of weirdos raising weird kids, living in this weird house, and they are unapologetic about how they feel about each other. And I love that. I love that about them.
And the chemistry was off the charts.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Okay. The next question he asked was our favorite crash out, and we had a hard time with this one because there are a lot of pretty fantastic crash outs throughout the first 99 movies that we've watched. So first and foremost, Angela Bassett playing Bernadine in Waiting to Exhale when she finds out that her husband has left her for a white woman.
Ooh-wee.
And she goes through his closet, takes out all of his things, dumps them in his convertible, and then lights it all on fire while smoking a cigarette.
Fantastic.
Just a classic, fantastic crash out.
Fantastic crash out.
Take your shit.
The second one.
Again, The Craft.
Woo-wee. Man, when Nancy, so Fairuza Balk, first of all, she completely crushes the scene. But when she basically right before she pushes Chris out the window and Chris says that he's sorry and she's like, oh, he's sorry. And then she spazzes and slides across the floor and pushes him out the window and kills him.
Yeah, she did like a reverse moonwalk. It was crazy. It was like the moonwalk's supposed to be backwards. She did it forwards.
On her toe point.
Nah, it was crazy.
Crash out.
When Jerry Maguire gets fired and Tom Cruise decides to give a speech to the entire office, steal the office goldfish.
It was so cringe.
That was a pretty big one. We also nominated Terry, played by Vanessa Williams in the movie Soul Food, when she pulls a knife on her husband after finding out that he cheated on her with her cousin.
Mm-hmm. You also have Arnold Schwarzenegger as Harry after he finds out or believes that Helen is cheating on him in True Lies. And he ends up using agency resources to stalk her and ends up bringing like a SWAT team into Simon's hideout.
This is an incredible crash
and
out.
Kidnaps his wife and...
A crash out using government resources.
Huge crash out.
Our tax dollars being put to terrible use. Of course, this question would not have been complete without a nomination for Mark Wahlberg's character in the movie Fear.
Oh my God.
Which I don't know if Fear was supposed to be the characters or supposed to be the viewers. Because let me tell you, watching this movie and watching this guy attempt to break into this house, I was experiencing fear. And last but not least, our seventh nomination, because we could not
There were so many good ones.
We could have probably even picked more, but number 7, a favorite crash out was Kathy Bates as Annie when she goes on a rant about Story's cheating in the movie Misery.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And she says, he didn't get out of the cock-a-doodle car.
Yo, literally just go to YouTube and just Google like Kathy Bates Misery Cock-a-doodle and watch the clip. Like, I cannot watch that clip without laughing out loud.
I can't watch the clip only once.
Like, it's so funny. It's so funny.
This question was so good for us, and we had so many nominees that we couldn't pick one winner. So we actually chose 2 winners.
Mm-hmm.
So we chose both Fairuza Balk in The Craft and Kathy Bates in Misery.
Oh, well deserved. Well deserved.
2 crash out winners. And last but not least, the MVPs, I think for us were, we looked at all of the movies that we've reviewed, all of the stars that have been in those movies, and there were 2 people in the first 99 movies that came and showed up the most times. And so our MVPs are going to Tom Hanks and to Robin Williams.
Yes, we have covered 5 movies each. For Tom Hanks, we did You Got Mail, Forrest Gump, A League of Their Own, Toy Story, and Philadelphia. And for Robin Williams, we did Jumanji, Aladdin, Mrs. Doubtfire, Fern Gully, and The Birdcage.
Wow.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. All right. So we actually loved Nick's question so much that we decided that we were going to also come up with a few more Rewind Rewatch awards based on a few other topics that we came up with on our own.
Mm-hmm.
And so we thought of some more ideas. So what other awards could we give out? So to end this episode 100, we are going to hand out a few more awards based on some more topics that we came up with. And so the next nomination is for the most 90s movie kiss.
Ooh, 90s movie kiss.
And we talk a lot about the 90s movie kisses on this podcast.
So what constitutes a 90s movie kiss? Basically, at the end of a film, if it ends with a kiss of some sort that's pretty long, it can't be a peck. You got to have lip-on-lip action, maybe a little bit of tongue.
A little kiss on the mouth?
Yeah.
Kiss on the mouth kiss?
You need a nice smooch, a nice smoocheroo that goes out into the end credits. That's what we call a 90s movie kiss. So for this one, we had a few nominees. We had Rachel and Frank that make out on the plane hangar in The Bodyguard.
And I will always kiss you.
Oh, okay. We also have Joe and Bill making out in the midst of a tornado wreckage in Twister.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was. Oh man.
That was a good kiss.
It's always great when after you have just survived a Category 5 tornado, you're surrounded by a bunch of destroyed homes. Of course, you take the time to sit in the middle of all the rubble and start making out.
You don't do that?
I've never been in that situation, so I don't know. Maybe that's what I would do.
Oh, okay. We also have Jack and Annie in Speed. They end up kissing on top of each other in a train. Now, if you remember, this train had just finished like jumping a track, and it like crashes out onto the middle of the street in the city, and they end up making out on top of each other. Then people start coming over with cameras, and they're taking pictures of them making out, and they continue to make out as it pans out.
Now you have an audience. You have to keep kissing.
It was a lot going on. We also have Joe and Kathleen, who smooch at the park.
Oh, yeah, my favorite couple.
At the end of You Got Mail. Detective Kimball makes out with a teacher in front of a class of kindergartners in Kindergarten Cop.
They're gonna do it.
As he wears like a knee brace over his work pants.
Of course.
If you remember that. And then lastly, we have the Kat and Patrick kiss in the high school parking lot of 10 Things I Hate About You. And as they're kissing, the camera pans out and we see a band's playing on the top of...
On the roof of the school.
Yes, the top of the building.
I want you to want
me. Yeah.
All right. And the winner for the most 90s movie kiss is... Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves in the movie Speed.
Yes. It's just the longevity of that kiss for me. Like the fact that
it's the double back.
Yeah. Like they kiss, they turn around, they see the crowd, and they're like, we don't care if it's a crowd. And they continue to make out in front of all of these people. So that had to win for us.
All right. So our next award is for the cheesiest one-liner. And we know the 90s was rife with cheesy one-liners. And so we have 5 nominees for this award. One is in Can't Hardly Wait.
Oh, Lord.
where the jock who's just broken up with his girlfriend and tries to get back with her in the middle of the house party. And she walks away from him, and her name is Amanda, so he calls her Amanda.
I hate that line so much.
I know which line you didn't hate is in Boondock Saints, nominees number 2. There was a firefight.
That scene was unreal.
Oh, it was real.
That's all I can say about it.
It was real, and it was spectacular.
Willem Dafoe.
Next, we have Keanu Reeves in Speed in the climax of the film where he is grappling with the bad guy, and the bad guy says, "Oh, you think you're smart? Well, I'm smarter." And Keanu says, "Oh, yeah? Well, I'm taller." And then the guy who's standing up gets his head taken off at the top of the train, which is not only cheesy, but also makes no sense, because if you were taller, you would have been the one that died. So, yes.
Well, he lost his head, so now he is taller.
He is
taller now.
I guess that's true.
His head is gone.
I guess that's true. 4th nominee, Will Smith punching an alien in Independence Day, and then telling him, "Welcome to Earth."
Yeah.
And nominee number 5, Arnold Schwarzenegger in True Lies, blasting a missile as the bad guy is attached to the side of it and telling him, "You're fired."
Oh, so they're all so good.
They're all very, very cheesy.
They're all so good.
And the winner is Will Smith in Independence Day.
Yes.
Welcome to Earth.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any cheesier than that.
It really doesn't. That was really, really bad. Okay, so for the next one, we have the all boned up all-star. Now, I kind of want to stop here and define what that means because my mother pulled me to the side over Christmas break and said to me, "You guys keep saying all boned up. What does that mean?"
That's amazing. That is amazing.
So somehow Joelle and I came up with this phrase. It's been a couple of years now.
I don't even know how this, I don't know.
I think like the idea of like someone having a boner, we all know what that means. And so we started thinking like boner, boned up, and it became like something that we just started saying. If you recall, Joelle, the very first time we started saying this phrase, we had sung it. Did you remember? I'd be like, "'Cause they're all boned up.
Boned up."
I don't know why we said that. It makes no sense, but
it makes sense to me.
But yes, all boned up means this person is extremely horny, always trying to get some, cannot keep it in their pants.
Yeah,
and so because
they're way too boned up.
Yeah, we had so many nominees for this, ended up having 10. So what we ended up doing was I did 5 nominees, Joelle did 5 nominees, and we're both going to pick our own separate winner for this category.
It's too many boned up all-stars.
Too many.
Too many.
So I guess I can start. So the 5 that I chose were number 1, Dorothy, who was all boned up for Jerry and Jerry Maguire. Because I'll tell you what, this character quit her job as a single mother, quit her job, followed this man because I guess he was hot and she liked his manifesto.
I mean, it's Tom Cruise.
And then when they have sex, she says to him, or he says to her, like, if we do this, like, it might change things. And she says, like, I hope it does, or better, or something. Like, it was something crazy where it was like, girl, you're doing too much. Boned up for him. Next, we have Kenny from Can't Hardly Wait. What was his first line in the film?
"I'm definitely getting sex tonight."
This is the guy who already had a condom on his penis before he started talking to this girl.
That was his plan. I think he said, like, "Should I put one on before?" It's like, what? It's like, why would you do that? Why would you? Why? How do you think this is gonna play out?
He was in the bathroom, like pretending, like practicing how to have sex at the party. There was a lot going on for
definitely
Kenny.
having sex tonight.
Yeah. Kenny was doing a lot. We also have Austin Powers for Vanessa in Austin Powers,
and for
every woman, yes,
in general.
But he was definitely like sexually, a lot of sexual abuse towards this woman. Constantly trying to have sex with her. It was kind of disgusting. We also have the Penguin for Catwoman in Batman Forever.
Batman Returns.
Oh, yes. Batman Returns. He was all boned up, baby. He starts talking about, he has a line that he says to her about, I should have wrote it down. I can't recall now. But he says something to Catwoman that's really, really wild. And then lastly, the character that I thought about was...
He says, "Just the pussy I was looking for."
Yes. Thank you. I said, oh my.
Yeah, that's very unhinged.
He was doing a lot.
Very unhinged.
And then my last nominee is Margot from Fear. She was Nicole's best friend. And if you recall, not only was she boned up for Logan, who was the guy that she meets out at this cafe/bar/pool hall, she also was boned up for Nicole's dad for some reason, because she gets to the house, she's bending over crazy in these short shorts, and he's kind of not saying anything to stop her, which was weird. But yeah, Margot was doing quite a bit. So based on all these characters, I started thinking about it, and the obvious answer to me had to be Austin Powers, because of the fact that he...
Yeah, baby, yeah.
He just wanted to shag everybody. So yeah.
All right, so I have my own 5 nominees for the All Boned Up All-Star Award. First on the list had to be John Gage, played by Robert Redford in the movie Indecent Proposal, who was so boned up that he was willing to pay a man $1 million to sleep with his wife.
Yeah.
Which is
That's
just
wild.
incredibly boned up. Next is Jim, the character in American Pie, who is so boned up that he explodes on himself after Nadia comes in his room. Well, I guess he comes in his room.
Oh, well, what I thought you were going to say is he's so boned up that he
humps in American Pie?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, I was getting there.
Yes.
So, yes, Jim is incredibly horny. Next, I have to shout out Lestat from Interview with a Vampire, played by Tom Cruise, who not only was devouring all of New Orleans, but was also devouring all of the women of New Orleans. Incredibly horny man. Sebastian, played by Ryan Phillippe in Cruel Intentions, who was just a beast, just a savage. And last but certainly not least, our girl Crystal Connors in the infamous X-rated film Showgirls.
that pool scene.
Oh, well, that's not Crystal. That was Crystal was the main
the other girl,
the main dancer who showed up at the strip club and was paying Elizabeth Berkley to give her husband a lap dance.
You're right.
And she was like wanted to sleep with Elizabeth Berkley.
Yeah.
And that woman was pretty horny. But I think the obvious winner here has to be Jim from American Pie, whose entire character is built around his horniness. So he is my all boned up all-star. All right, a couple more awards. The next award is for our messiest character.
Oh, this one's hard.
And I will say, these last 2 awards were the most difficult for Andreen and I to find a winner for because the nominees were so strong. They gave in such strong performances.
Yeah.
So for our messiest character award, we have Harper from The Best Man, who writes a novel that is based on a completely true story of him sleeping with his best friend's girl. We have Cher in Clueless, who is meddling in everyone else's love life.
Everyone.
Including not only her friends, but also her teachers. And is somehow calling herself some sort of matchmaker despite the fact that no one has asked for her help to make matches. Third, Cousin Faith from Soul Food.
Oh, yeah.
Who, after squatting in her cousin's house, proceeds to sleep with her cousin's husband in her cousin's house. Fourth, Harriet the Spy.
We just covered this episode, and Lord have mercy.
It was last week's episode. This girl was incredibly messy, wrote extensive
exposés.
She wrote extensive insults about every single member of her 7th grade class.
Including her best friends.
And exposed all their secrets. And last but certainly not least, Catherine in Cruel Intentions.
Oh, man.
Played by Sarah Michelle Gellar.
She was amazing.
Who was incredibly messy, backstabbing everyone, including her stepbrother, all in the name of what?
Fun and games.
But the winner, the undisputed, messiest character.
Oh, man, the messiest.
Cousin Faith from Soul Food.
I mean, it really had to be Cousin Faith because at the end of the day, Cousin Faith is the one character that I will never forgive.
Never, no.
You just can't.
You can't.
Like, she is the bottom of the barrel. She is trash. Because you know what? That is family.
Not anymore, it is.
That is family. You can't do that to family.
Nah, it was incredibly crazy. All right, our last and final Rewind Rewatch award.
Last one.
Take it away.
The most logical plotline.
Oh boy.
Now these are some very, very strong nominees. The first nominee we've mentioned previously in this episode is Armageddon. You're taking these roughneck people who are drilling and you're putting them up in space with little to no like training.
I think they trained for like a week and a half.
And they were just like dicking around the entire time.
To save the world, mind you.
Yeah. They're making jokes, they're getting drunk, they're going to strip clubs, they're just doing too much. And now they're supposed to go up to space. They need to drill this hole into this asteroid, plant this bomb, somehow get away, and then come back. Because NASA couldn't do it without these men. And like, you have the one man, Harry, who's like the man, but he won't do it without his team. So it's like, and also the America of it all.
Yeah, you either take my team or everyone dies. This doesn't seem like the time to be making those anyway.
And only America can save the world. Let's not forget that.
Well,
everybody else is just waiting to die.
We have never seen anyone else save the world in any movies, have we?
So that's number one. Number two, we have Face Off, where you have an agent who the cop takes off his face and then switches faces with a terrorist so that he can then go to prison, talk to the terrorist's brother, get intel to stop the terrorists from bombing. Like, the whole thing just didn't make any sense. They're not the same height. They're not the same build. They don't have the same voice, but somehow...
Well, naturally, if you switch faces with someone, you just become that person.
Oh, okay.
You take on everything. You take on their voice. You take on their build. You take on their weight. You take on their height.
Oh, okay. Everything is exactly the same.
Yes.
Yeah. So no one knew that they had switched places. So that happened. Number three, we have Mrs. Doubtfire.
Well, this movie is illogical, primarily because how in the world could your husband of, what were they married, like 11 years or 20 years, whatever it was.
Whatever it is.
He wears some prosthetics, puts on some fake boobies and a dress, and you don't recognize that this is your husband? Kids, you don't recognize that this is your pappy?
No.
Nobody recognizes that this is the same man that they've been living with.
Not to mention, this is a man who we know does impersonations all the time. Like, he does cartoons
Literally
for a living. So it's like, he puts on voices all the time. You know that his brother or cousin does prosthetics for Hollywood.
And she says, there's something about you. I feel like I know you. Girl, please, Sally Field, get it together.
I also have to say really fast that the scene where his character, he's just trying on multiple wigs and personalities for no reason, because he already knows that he has to be this old woman to be this nanny. So I was like, why did he spend all this time?
Why is he dressed up like Barbara Streisand?
Right.
It's for no other reason other than the audience's enjoyment.
Why did he do his nails? Like,
I don't know.
Why did he do all of that?
I don't know.
So there's that. We also have Junior.
Oh, I mean.
Where you have a man who becomes impregnated because they are able to insert, I guess, an egg into his perineal cavity.
Yes.
And
that's right.
Somehow he becomes pregnant that way and is able to carry this child full term. And then he goes into labor.
Yep.
So I'm not even, I don't know. And then lastly, we've also mentioned this earlier in this episode.
There must be a mother.
That's the line I always remember. There must be a mother.
There must be a mother.
There must be a mother.
Oh my God.
And then lastly,
he said, my body, my choice.
That was so out of left field. I lost it.
Shout out to Arnold, man. He might be my MVP. I'm changing my answer. Oh, man.
I lost it. No, the last one is.
Oh my God.
Is Billy Madison. As you stated before, you have this grown man whose father is going to leave him the company if he's able to pass K through 12 in a week, which makes no sense. And then his teacher, this hot, intelligent woman, falls for this man-child who all he does is drink beer all day with his friends and eat snack food and talk like a baby. She falls for him somehow.
Not to mention he gets so drunk that he starts like picturing penguins. What was it?
Yeah. It's some penguin man.
It's like, how drunk are you, my guy?
And also like,
how drunk are you off Bud Light?
Alcohol doesn't do that. I'm like,
I mean, I don't know.
That's not
the Lost Weekend. I guess it could happen.
I guess, but yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense.
There is nothing about the movie Billy Madison that has any sense of logic. The entire film is illogical.
Yeah, because I also felt like the fact that he is irresponsible does not mean that he talked like a baby. I couldn't understand like why they kept making that connection. I believe like I asked you,
Billy, can you stop making up those sounds?
Oh my God, I hate it. I have to cover my ears. I don't want to hear it. I hate it so much.
If you all could see the look on Andreen's face.
I have to cover my ears, guys, because I hate that gibberish. It's so nonsensical. And that's why I asked you, I'm like, is something supposed to be wrong with him mentally? Because why does he act like this?
Apparently not.
Okay. So we have Face Off, Armageddon, Mrs. Doubtfire, Junior, Billy Madison.
And the winner is...
Junior. Because, come on, y'all.
I mean, listen, you don't even need to know anything about the movie. I could literally just show you the poster and you'd be like, this is a very illogical film.
Not to mention, this man wears a dress and a wig and no one could tell that he was a man. No one could tell. They were like, oh, okay. He did sports in Austria. Okay.
Makes sense to me.
And I don't know how, I'm sorry, but I don't know how after he stole the doctor's eggs and impregnated himself with her egg, she says like, well, like, I guess since you're having my child, you might as well have sex. I'm like, what? What do you mean?
Oh, man. The guys in these 90s movies get away with murder, man.
Yes.
You could do anything and still get the girl.
They always get the girl.
Oh, man. Maybe that's probably one of my other answers to Jeremy's question about
the tropes.
90s trope is like the guy can do anything. No matter how awful he is, no matter how much of an idiot he is, he always gets the hot girl at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, man. This was fun.
That was really fun.
Episode 100 in the books. We're 100 episodes in. Again, thank you all so much for listening. Thank you to the folks that left those wonderful voicemails and emails and Facebook messages for us to answer. We plan to keep on rocking, and we will keep it going for hopefully another 100 or 700 episodes. I don't know about 700, but we will keep watching 90s movies until the wheels fall off. And I think in terms of the phone number, like, we'll keep it open.
Yeah, for sure.
So guys, if you didn't get a chance to leave a voicemail for episode 100, or if you have another question that pops into your mind as you're listening to our show in the future, you can continue to use that number to leave us voicemails, and we'll try to incorporate some Q&A into future episodes as we move forward.
I'm pretty excited. I also wanted to announce, since we're here, that the podcast is now available on YouTube.
Hey!
Yeah, I learned recently that there are people who apparently listen to podcasts on YouTube for whatever reason. So I said, hey.
There's YouTube Music, so people can,
I said, hey, let's go ahead and do that. So we are up and running there as well. So if you have any friends who prefer to listen to content that way, let them know that we are streaming there as well.
All right. You have any final words?
Oh my God, how do I wrap this up? What do I say?
I know what my final words are.
Oh, you do? Yeah, you take it.
My body, my choice.
All right, y'all. Later.
Adios.